time for a little first time experiment. So I have a fertilizer grass seed handheld distributor, right? I have used this myself for grass seed, so no fertilizer has been in here. I cleaned it, it's ready to go. Slight risk of something being on here, so I'm only going to do this to one stack here and just see what happens. But the problem I'm trying to solve with testing this is I'm getting to the point where I'm using way too much substrate to effectively put it through the deep freeze for 48 hours to kill off grain mites. That's the main thing I'm trying to tackle. So I'm going to need to get to a point where I can proactively treat the substrate with split pea flour. So split pea flour has been proven in laboratory studies to be effective against killing grain mites. I've used it myself personally 4 times now in different breakouts that I had, 3 in the old building, 1 in this building. Spoiler alert, I've got video of that grain mite issue, how I dealt with it, and I'm getting that posted and updated. It was several months ago at this point. It's all taken care of. It was actually taken care of within about 4 days, but I want to proactively treat the substrate because I may have to stop deep freezing just because of the sheer quantity of wheat bran that we're going to start going through. So I thought maybe I could get this set up, spray it in there to try to effectively get all of the trays treated that we have to do every week. So let's see what happens. I've got my split pea flour here. So I buy my split pea flour from Azure Standard. It comes as the split pea itself, right? The half of the pea, that's what you're going to get. And then I grind it with a grinder that I have here and get it into a flour consistency. So this is the tail end of it. I'll go grind some fresh stuff. But that's what it looks like. Real floury, right? Dusty. PSA, wear your mask in your mealworm farm. I don't have mine on because my particles per million right now is down at 13, and the air was just exhausted, so I could make this video. Otherwise, I'd have my full face mask on. Split pea flour is not an allergen for me, and I don't expose myself to it all that often. So let's go ahead and try this out. Just making a lot of dust. It might be too fine of a particle. Let me open this up a little bit more. I'm getting it kind of everywhere. I don't know if that's going to work. Making a bigger mess than the problem I'm solving, probably. It is getting, I love that it's getting it dispersed in there. I wonder if I don't, making a huge mess. I wonder if I don't grind it up as much, but then that won't work as well with the grain mites because they're, I mean, absolutely tiny. So this may not work. I'll give it a couple more tries here. This gets pretty compacted once it settles, and so what's happening is it's shooting out what's down there, and then the rest of it's not flowing down. I'm having to mess around with it. So I don't know that this is going to work. Although I'm making a mess in a centralized place, so I can clean it up. And it is getting it in there. So that's not terrible. What I will probably do, I'll test this on some empty trays just to see how much it's actually dispersing and get a weight. You want to aim from a proactive or pre-treatment perspective, you want to aim for 5% conservatively. That's a little high. Some people will say 1 to 2%. It's not going to hurt the mealworms, so I would edge towards a little higher, especially if I'm going to do it like this, where there's going to be some variance in what's coming out. So I'll get a stack of empties. I'll test this out, get some weights, but this could work. The alternative is just to take a scoop and fling it in there, which will probably be cleaner, might be less dusty. I'll give that a shot at some point too. So if you have any suggestions, let me know.